Hey guys, it is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. It's July 28th, 2018. I just felt like I needed to make a video. As my nervous system, it feels like it's shaking, like really shaky, and like my inside my chest and my back, just pulsating pain. And stuff that my attackers are doing with remote neural manipulation is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much it can just target regions of the brain. I really don't have anything specific to talk about. I hope you guys watched, Brain Science from Bench to Battlefield. I was watching it again because I was going to maybe, go over some more important things that he said. The guy, James Giordano, Dr. James Giordano from Georgetown, like I was rewatching it, and she's introducing him, and he's actually an advisor to the Pentagon in neuroweapons. So when he's talking about a lot of the effects of neurotoxins and what does he say? He says neuroweapons technology, which would be the directed energy weapon systems that are, messing up our brains and nervous systems. I mean, mutilating, I would just say mutilating, us to death. That's what he's talking about, and he actually works for the Pentagon. So, I mean, this information, non-TIs, is right out there. I think we all know by now. I mean, we have to. Everybody who hears about targeted individuals, or neuroweapons or directed energy weapons, you have to know by now that worldwide they're experimenting on human beings. And then it's like, okay, I just want to kind of go through my day. I can barely think, so I'm going to just be all over the place, guys, and that's why I haven't been making many videos. I've been doing a lot of conference calls, moderating a lot of conference calls, but that's getting really tough. There's a lot of people who are hurting very badly, and me myself, I'm hurting, terribly. My brain's not working right because of all the interference with it. I mean, just like bashing my brain in with microwave pulses while I sleep. And now it's like, and they've done this before, but it seems like because I'm getting so tired, when I get in a theta state between waking and sleep, I start getting this automated word salad it's not V2K, but it's like synthetic telepathy. So it'll be just like just I can't even describe the word salad that it is, but it's like really it's something automated that's working as an inner voice, like while I'm in that from waking to sleep in that theta state. Just running signals and receiving signals from my brain. Now, I know I sound like a broken record, but Dave Case's CD really helps. Last night, I fell asleep without it, and I woke up with that high-pitched tinnitus-like sound under where I was sleeping on, under my head, and it was really painful. But then I get up, and I'm just like, my mind is like blank because it's been being pulsed with microwaves and directed dreaming and all this crap through the night. And I, get up, my hip, through remote neural manipulation, they are, sending pain. Like I'm laying on my left hip, and they're sending pain all down my hip through down to my foot, and like a pressure and like a cooking feeling. And so when I get up and I walk my dog, I walk outside and I'm like limping. It hurts that bad. It's like mutilating my nervous system that bad. And right when I walk outside, there's some guy with like a red bandana, and he's like looking at his phone. And right when I walk outside, sirens go off in the distance. So that's, thank you DHS Fusion Centers and InfraGard and the actual law enforcement that works with them to turn on sirens to harass people who are, being murdered and experimented on. It's gotten to a point, and like I don't know how all you other guys surviving through this feel. There's a lot of good stuff going on. I don't ever want to negate that. We've got to get through this. We've got to find a way to survive and buy time. But with me, they've done so much to my brain and my emotions. where I don't feel right about this. Like, I feel like like Jose Delgado did with that bull. He put electrodes in its brain, and the bull was like, rushing at the cape, and they could, do a certain signal in those electrodes and just make the bull kind of stop. And that's the kind of feeling that I get when they're messing with regions of my brain, that I don't feel right about this. I feel lethargic. I don't know how to feel about it because it's so bizarre, and it keeps on twisting and mutilating my nervous system and my body. And so many people are, dying out there, being tortured. And I don't know, like, I get on these videos and it's like, this is like genocide and torture. And I'm sitting here just documenting it, calmly. And it doesn't seem like it's enough. It doesn't seem like, and it's hard to explain, guys. It's just hard to explain. Because I went through a couple of years, well, really, 8 years ago, I knew I was being targeted, and then, that whole time I was very angry, and my anger would push me to find new ways to defend, and I felt like, my adrenaline was running every day, and then, like, about 2 years ago, it was intense anger, and I fed that into my activism and my videos. But then after that, it's like either something, I don't think it's natural. I think it's something with remote neural manipulation, where it's like I'm not reacting to this stuff right. I'm so tired, my body's so tired, my brain's so tired, and they're doing something like they did to that bull, like Jose Delgado did to that bull. They're doing that with me, and it's very scary. It's very scary. When you can't even really trust your own feelings about things, where you don't feel right about things, like your brain and your nervous system are not working like they did before, and these people are, the hive mind team or whatever, these shift workers are playing around with, centers of my brain to make me, it's hard to explain, not accept this stuff at all, but just not feel right about, feel way too lethargic and kind of like, well, I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to have to survive and wait it out and play the long game. And, it's very hard to explain, especially when your brain is getting signals to and from it all the time, being pulsed. Your brain and your nervous system are being pulsed all the time. It's hard to, like, explain exactly what's going on. And, there's a lot of drama in the community and stuff like that. Just overwhelming stress mixed with not feeling right about things. And I don't know. I mean, I don't really know how to explain it better than that. I used to, man, on the first videos, they were fucking me up. But it's like I had enough of myself left to sit there and, sit there for 2 hours and really, just go through everything. And I could go through everything on my mind. Now it feels like they interfere with certain processes of my mind, the ones that kind of help me to move along with this. They're interfering with those, and then, like, so I have trouble finding words, and it just feels like really hard. This just feels like overwhelming, and then overwhelming on top of overwhelming, and then overwhelming on top of overwhelming, and then nobody, like, no law enforcement is doing anything about it, but then they're actually participating, and then these agencies are basically just laughing at us, and they're participating. It sucks. I'm having a hard time just explaining where I'm at. But the physical effects, like, all down my spine, I'm like limping, but I'm also kind of walking like a zombie because everything's so stiff and has been microwaved, and pain signals have been pulsed down my back and down my chest, on the side, like right here. They can pulse pain through those nerves, the vagus nerve, to make it so I have a lot of trouble talking. I'm just trying to document this right now, and I'm having a lot of trouble. I'm just having a lot of trouble, keeping stuff in my memory, explaining how I feel the right way, and I feel like we can use social media, like, in a lot more intelligent ways. That brain science from bench to battlefield, and I was going to play another clip, just the audio, but I actually made, if y'all have seen it, I made a YouTube video going through some of the clips, and when I pull it up on Google, if I pull up that, actually if I pull it up on YouTube, brain science from bench to battlefield, the video that I made pulls up right under it. So I think we need to do that on subjects that have to do with targeting, and maybe they're talking about it in a different way. We need to editorialize and comment on those, and add our plight, and then they'll show up when somebody's interested in like neuroscience or neuroweaponry or things like that. We can make videos about that, commenting on those videos, and they'll show up right under it and connect it to what is happening to us all over the world. I really don't want to get my Faraday bunker. It's still helping. My defenses are still helping. Dave Case's CD definitely still helping. But the weapons that they're using do adapt. I have to be honest about that. They do adapt through some of this stuff where it's still effective, but it becomes less effective. I don't know, guys. I just felt like I had to make a video today because I walked outside, got the harassment, and it feels like I'm being filleted. Like, it feels like my brain and my nervous system are being cut and cooked, and then I walk outside and people are like looking, like people who always patrol me or come by at the same time are like, keeping track of me or some kind of bullshit. And they don't even know what's going on. I've got a lot of older guys. I'll give y'all the maintenance guy who I've been living in this condo complex for 3 years. 3 or 4 years, I'm not sure. But we'll always walk by each other, and he's like, "Hey, Kyle," and I'm like, "Hey, John." And the other day, like, he walks by me and he's wearing army pants and like a shirt with a triangle on it or some crap. I try to ignore that stuff, but he's like, "Hey, Mike," and he like looks down. It was almost like, I know that's the kind of shit that these people do. So I know he knows my name. Like, the guy's not a dumbass. He knows my name. But other people, like, who aren't target individuals would be like, "Well, he doesn't even know your name. He's obviously not doing anything like that to you." And that's how crappy this stuff gets. When you're being filleted alive, your nervous system is being filleted alive by directed energy weapon systems and remote neural weapons that are pinpointing regions of the brain. And they have the software. I think this is what I think about it. Because the V2K kind of goes along with, they kind of remark on things that they're doing. And I think that there's a software, so when they're remote neural manipulating manually, they can just put that in an automated software, and the automated software keeps working on a certain region of the brain, and then they move on to manually affecting another region of the brain or something else about your nervous system in your brain. So they keep just adding and adding things on, where this bidirectional stream of energy is doing things automatedly. And now my hand is shaking really badly. It wasn't at the start of this, but my nervous system, it feels like it's completely, almost completely under control. And they can like make me feel shaky or anxious. And I do things to buffer it. But I know you guys kind of understand, you non-TIs. It's very scary. It's past the point. Like, I was at the point where it's like, I like superhero movies, I like superheroes, and so challenge, and my body's hurting, but I can adrenalize and fight. And now it's just like so much rape and torture throughout, the 8 years where I knew I was tortured, and then probably before that where I didn't know. And now my body has no adrenaline left. I just don't have any adrenaline. Like, my endocrine system's not working right. My brain is not reacting to things right, and it's very. And people aren't just not helping. If people were just not helping and left me alone, I don't know, I'd still be angry. But they're actually not just not helping. They're getting involved with kicking us in the face while we're going through maybe the worst kind of torture that's ever been invented, especially directing it, pinpointing areas of the brain with remote neural manipulation, injecting, and the V2K is like going right now as I'm making this video. the woman's voice just said